Aloha, everyone, and welcome to our HPU OTD Las Vegas information session. We're so excited to have you here with us to learn more about our innovative, hybrid, accelerated, entry-level OTD program. I'm Dr. Susan Lingelbach. I'm the Director of Admissions and an Assistant Professor. We have our entire core faculty team with us today to talk about what makes this program a great fit for you. And to start us off, I'm going to pass it to Dr. Audie to talk about HPU in Las Vegas.
Thank you, Dr. Lingelbach. I'm Robin Audie, the Program Director and Professor at Hawaii Pacific University, or HPU. HPU is expanding beyond the Hawaiian Islands for the first time in university history by launching a Las Vegas campus. HPU Las Vegas will welcome students in August of 2024 with this OTD program. Las Vegas and Hawaii have a long history of connection, and HPU is excited to strengthen this further by launching our Las Vegas campus. Las Vegas is known for its nightlife, entertainment, and now pro sports teams such as the Raiders football team and Golden Knights hockey. Besides the glitz and the glamour, Las Vegas is a city that consists of over 2.2 million community residents who live and reside in this growing valley. As such, the Las Vegas community has needs that the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program will be able to address through fieldwork and capstone experiences. Not to worry, moving to Las Vegas is not required for the program, but if you do decide to stay, you can expect one of the highest salaries in the nation and reasonable cost of living, not to mention an opportunity to fill a huge community need as an occupational therapy practitioner. The Doctor of Occupational Therapy program's mission is to develop globally responsive, diverse occupational therapy leaders who use their expertise to address the complex needs of people and society through occupation while embodying the values of aloha, pono, kuleana, kokua, and lalima. We'll tell you a little bit more about our values, both at HPU and within our OTD program. HPU's core values include aloha, which means hello, goodbye, love, kindness, and grace, unity, humility, patience, and waiting for the right moment. Pono means being righteous, honest, and moral, and an energy of necessity. And kuleana means responsibility and rights and concern for all interests, property, and people. And now for our program values. Within the context of the OTD department, we see Aloha as being good stewards of the program and ultimately the occupational therapy profession. Students in this program will develop their leadership capacity to serve the greater good. Being Pono as occupational therapy practitioners means embodying a crucial component of ethical and moral practice. Kuleana means we have a responsibility to enhance the occupational lives of clients and their right to participation. The OTD department at HPU has two additional values we follow, kokua and lalima. Kokua is a way of relating to others and is exemplified by kindness and a desire to be of help without expecting anything in return. In occupational therapy, this idea can be represented through the concept of the therapeutic use of self and creating an environment of unconditional positive regard and non-judgment. And finally, lalima, which can be translated to the concept of many hands make small work. Collaboration and working together for a greater cause are integral aspects of lalima and interprofessional practice. I'm going to pass it to our Director of Curriculum, Dr. Lauren Milton, who will tell you more about our program structure.
Thanks, Dr. Audie. Our hybrid accelerated model is innovative, efficient, and will get you out working with a terminal degree, the occupational therapy doctorate, in less time than traditional programs. The program takes 24 months from start to finish. We use a cohort model with a set structured schedule. This means everyone you enter with will complete the same courses at the same time in a set sequence. The benefit is that you not only get through the program quickly, but you're able to build strong relationships with other students in your cohort. An accelerated program means students have to be organized, self-directed, and motivated to learn. By completing an accelerated program, you're getting out into the OT workforce faster, earning an income, and changing lives in your community. And now we will introduce you to the innovation of using a hybrid model in this accelerated program. The hybrid model means that as an OTD student in our program, you can live anywhere. You'll do a combination of asynchronous learning and synchronous online sessions, giving you flexibility in how you learn. I'll explain more about what that looks like in just a bit, but first I'll explain what the first year looks like with coursework. There are 6 terms in the first year of the program, each lasting 8 weeks. You'll have 4 courses in each of those 6 terms. You'll come on site to Las Vegas campus for 2 weeks out of every 8-week term for a lab immersion experience. While students participate in lab immersions, other coursework is paused to focus strictly on lab content. Those lab immersions will be guided by your course facilitators and other trained faculty, some who are full-time OT practitioners who will be on site to help you learn essential hands-on clinical skills. During terms 4, 5, and 6, you'll complete level 1 fieldwork experiences during those lab times. We'll get more into fieldwork later in the presentation, as well as the doctoral capstone experience, which both occur in the second year of the program. Some additional benefits of this hybrid model are that it makes an OT degree much more accessible than traditional programs. We are committed to increasing diversity in the profession, and we don't want to close the door to earning an OT degree just because you may not be able to move to be able to pick up to a different location with an OT program. Learning right where you are is the foundation of this program model. Next, I'm going to pass it to Dr. Mark Hardison, Assistant Professor, to talk about the asynchronous and synchronous formats of learning.
Thank you, Dr. Milton. Asynchronous sessions are those times where you are engaged in self-directed learning through our learning management system, Blackboard Ultra. Designed by our full-time faculty, asynchronous activities may include, but are not limited to, watching pre-recorded lectures, completing curated readings, and active learning assignments, participating in thoughtful discussions with classmates and faculty in discussion forums, recording your own video-based assignments, processing and applying faculty feedback, engaging in various individual and group projects, and completing assessments like quizzes, exams, or papers. Synchronous sessions for each course will be online learning sessions that happen as a full cohort in real time alongside your peers and faculty course leads to use all the pre-learning from the asynchronous activities to apply it in an active learning environment. This is where you can clarify content that is still difficult to understand, have guided discussions related to course content, participate in collaborative learning in real time, and enhance your clinical reasoning skills as well as your application of the occupational therapy process. Next, we'll pass it to Dr. Elizabeth Torres to talk about the lab immersion experiences.
Thanks, Mark. As Dr. Milton mentioned earlier, each term in the first year of the curriculum, terms 1 through 6, will last 8 weeks. Within each of those terms, we will have a 2-week lab immersion. Lab immersion weeks are customized for the coursework. So as you can see, lab immersions occur during different weeks of the terms. For example, the term 1 lab immersion is during weeks 4 and 5, but the term 6 lab immersion is during weeks 7 and 8. You are responsible for making your own arrangements to be on site in Las Vegas for all lab immersions. Because the curriculum is designed in a lockstep format, it is critical that students attend lab immersions as they are scheduled to not delay or compromise progression in the program. Off to the side, you'll see that you'll come back for one on-site immersion during your final term in the program in the summer of 2026 for 1 week. We'll touch more on that next when we discuss our experiential education. Now I'll pass it to Dr. Sabrina Gowett to discuss fieldwork, followed by Dr. Amy Sadek to discuss capstone education.
Thank you, Dr. Torres. Now we'll talk a little more about level 1 and level 2 fieldwork. Since our students will be from all over the country, we do have contracts already in place with sites across the US and even one in Ecuador, with more in development every week. Fieldwork is an essential part of any OTD program. This is where you begin to observe and then practice clinical skills required in a variety of practice settings and working with clients across the lifespan. While clinical knowledge is gained throughout the curriculum, we also have on-site level 1 experiences during lab immersions throughout year 1 in physical rehabilitation, children and youth, and psychosocial and community practice. The third level 1 experience is an exciting one because we'll place you at community-based sites around the Las Vegas Valley to work directly with clients before heading off to your level 2 experiences. Then in year 2, you'll be off-site for the first 2 terms where you complete back-to-back 12-week level 2 fieldwork experiences in 2 different settings. During level 2, you work with your fieldwork educator at your site to build on your clinical skills and learn how to become an entry-level practitioner by the end of each 12-week experience. Next, we have Dr. Amy Sadek to discuss the doctoral capstone.
Thank you, Dr. Gowett. The doctoral capstone is the culminating experience within the OTD program. This includes the development of a 14-week capstone experience and project based on your individually chosen area of focus, which can include clinical practice skills, research skills, program development and evaluation, policy development, administration, education advocacy, and leadership. The doctoral capstone is very much student-led and developed under the mentorship and collaboration of an HPU faculty mentor and your community partner capstone site mentor. And really the goal of the capstone is to develop in-depth knowledge and advanced skills as an occupational therapy practitioner, leader, advocate, and scholar in the field while also meeting real-world needs. Capstone placements will be identified early in the program based on student preferences. Similar to fieldwork, these sites will also be available around the country. And at the end of the capstone experience, you'll have the opportunity to disseminate your project findings at our annual capstone symposium. Now that we've talked a little bit about the capstone model, we'll share more with you about the accreditation process for a developing program. HPU OTD Las Vegas is excited to announce that we've received candidacy status through our accrediting body, ACOTE, this past December. We'll be in the candidacy stage until ACOTE comes to do their on-site visit about halfway through the program when we have students on campus. After that, we anticipate achieving full accreditation by the time you graduate, and we are on track to do just that. Next, we will dive into more about the Las Vegas program experience, and for that, I'll pass it on to our Director of Student Affairs, Dr. Julia Graham.
Thank you, Dr. Sadek. There are so many exciting aspects of our Las Vegas program, including student supports, travel, and our top-notch faculty. Students receive a lot of support in our program. Ohana means family, so our goal for the student experience is to create a supportive, connected community of learners who will become our future colleagues. Our cohort sizes are anticipated to be larger than many traditional programs, so students will be placed into smaller supportive Ohana groups guided by an HPU faculty coach. This coach will help facilitate student supports, including ensuring academic success and helping students develop their professional identity as an occupational therapist. All students will also have access to the same supports as traditional students on the HPU campus, including receiving accommodations, having access to tutors and counseling services, and all of these things can be accessed online. As mentioned, travel is a requirement for this program, so you'll be traveling on site to lab immersions in Las Vegas 6 times in the first year and for an on-site experience at the end of your second year. You may also have to travel for your level 2 fieldwork experiences and capstone, depending on your placement. We're continuing to develop a travel resource guide for students students that includes area hotels, flight deals, and transportation options. We have several faculty who live in the Las Vegas area full-time and can guide the on-site experience as well. To reduce your costs and further foster your connections, we do encourage that you share housing and transportation amongst your student ohanas. And next, I'll pass it to Dr. Zipporah Brown, Assistant Professor, to introduce you to our Las Vegas faculty team.
Thank you, Dr. Graham. So now that you had the chance to learn about the program, I'm going to take a moment to highlight our team, including where we are in the country and some of our scholarship highlights. First, we have Dr. Robin Adi, our program director and full professor. She currently lives in Henderson, Nevada, right next to Las Vegas. She is well known for her work in cognition and is the current Nevada ambassador for NBCOT. Dr. Susan Lingelbach is the director of admissions and an assistant professor. She lives in Oceanside, California, and does work on burnout in occupational therapy practice. She's also the current president of the Nevada Occupational Therapy Association. Dr. Lauren Milton is our director of curriculum and an assistant professor. She's done extensive work in school-based occupational therapy and lives near St. Louis, Missouri. Next, we have Dr. Sabrina Gowett, the Director of Fieldwork Education and an assistant professor. She also lives in Henderson, Nevada, and her scholarship is in the area of perinatal mental health. We have Dr. Amy Sadek, the Director of Capstone Education and an assistant professor. She holds a PhD with scholarship in the area of lifestyle medicine and health promotion, and she currently lives in Orange County, California. We have Dr. Julia Graham, the Director of Student Affairs and an assistant professor. She rounds out the local faculty and also lives in Henderson, Nevada. Her scholarship centers around the effective use of yoga and dance in occupational therapy, as well as universal design for learning. Again, I'm Dr. Zipporah Brown, an assistant professor here in the program, and I live in Central Western Oregon, and a component of my scholarship is centered around health equity and lifestyle medicine. Next, we have Dr. Elizabeth Torres, who lives in Kansas City. She's an assistant professor in our program, and her scholarship includes aging in place, as well as diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice. And last, but certainly not least, Dr. Mark Hardison, an assistant professor who also holds a PhD. His areas of scholarship include wellness interventions and mindfulness practice, and he currently lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We'll also be sure to provide a link to our faculty bios. Now, I'm going to pass it to our admission advisor, Joseph Liel, who will discuss our program requirements.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. The HPU OTD requirements are listed here. You have to have a bachelor's degree, a minimum GPA of a 3.0 for your cumulative GPA and prerequisite GPA. You have to complete all prereqs by the time you start the program, but you can apply if some are still in progress or if you plan to take them in spring. We ask for 3 letters of recommendation, and we recommend having at least 30 hours of exploration into the occupational therapy profession. The prerequisites are listed here. We have a general science course like physics, kinesiology, or biomechanics. You just need one of the 3. Anatomy and physiology with lab. You'll need both of those. A statistics course. Developmental lifespan psychology. Got to make sure that it covers the lifespan. Abnormal psychology, and an English composition or writing course. We ask that anatomy and physiology has been completed within 5 years unless you can demonstrate continued competency through work experience. You can also complete these in any format, online, in person, or hybrid. Now I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to our Director of Admissions, Dr. Susan Lingelbach, to talk about cost and enrollment.
Thank you so much, Joseph. So this is our projected program cost for the inaugural cohort, the class of 2026 that starts in August. We have a breakdown here of tuition and university fees, as well as our program fees. Our program fees you'll see include the purchase of a student kit, and this kit allows you to have some of those essential tools that you can use to practice some of your clinical and evaluation skills at home when you're not on site during lab immersions. You're able to keep these materials with you as you enter practice. We also have a few items that support your learning and some swag items as well that you can use during lab immersions and fieldwork experiences. We require a criminal background check during the first year, and you may be asked to complete a second check depending on your level 2 fieldwork placements in your second year. We value being active members of your professional association, and so we do require you to have AOTA membership for both years of the program. Our current projected textbook and software cost is around $950. The great thing is that you'll pay the same whether you're in Nevada or living somewhere else in the country. HPU does offer financial aid, and you can find out more information using the link on this QR code as well. HPU doesn't currently offer grants or scholarships specific to OT, but we did put some resources on there for external grants and scholarships that you can apply for. So once you're invited to join our OTD Ohana, these are the steps you'll need to get enrolled in the program. You're going to put down an $800 deposit to secure your seat in the program. This deposit goes directly towards your tuition in the fall. You also need to meet the technical standards of the program, which are listed on our admissions page. You need to pass our health clearance, which does include various immunizations, although waivers may be available for medical or religious reasons. And we require that you carry health insurance during your time in the program. When you enroll, you're also asked to pay for some of these items up front so that you can provide proof of them during the first term. So things like your student kit, AOTA membership, and the criminal background check are very important. We have an incredible team that handles our admissions. So while I'm the director of admissions, I really couldn't do the work without these guys. Joseph Leal, who you've heard from already, is our frontline advisor, and he can really help guide you through the application process and get all of your questions answered about what makes you stand out as an applicant to our program. Here on the right is Danny Lamb, and he's our HPU Graduate Admissions Coordinator for the OTD Las Vegas program. He's going to work with you to get you set up with your student ID, collect those seat deposits, and make sure that you're all set for enrollment. And you can reach out to any of us at any time. So if you do decide that HPU's OTD program in Las Vegas is a good fit for you, here are some next steps. I love this slide. Go ahead and screenshot this or save these links for your reference. On the left here, we have a link for our Las Vegas program page where you can read more about our faculty and staff, our admissions requirements, those health requirements and technical standards I mentioned, and get any updates on our accreditation status or our academic calendar. The second link sends you to Joseph's Calendly, so you can directly set up a time to chat with him about your application to OTD Las Vegas. He also offers complimentary transcript reviews, so make sure you take him up on that. If you're ready, you can use this third link that takes you directly to the OT Centralized Application System, or OTCAS, and make sure that you're adding HPU Las Vegas as a program. And then finally, be sure to follow us on socials. This link is to our Instagram account, though you can also find us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we'll be sure to drop those links down below. Mahalo for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions at all about the program, I invite you to get in touch with our admissions team and attend one of our other events on our events page linked below as well. Aloha, everyone.